Welcome into a Monday edition of Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Today on the show, it's okay to say both Luka and Trae are great players, and it worked out for both franchises. Ronnie is right when talking about how he should play and his style. And will Deion Jones be on the Falcons roster in, a month or so from right now? Got all that to get into here today on a Monday edition. It's Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.
This is Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Thank you so much for tuning in here on a Monday edition of Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head over to youtube.com. Be a part of the community. Find the Locked On Sports Atlanta show on youtube.com. Subscribe, leave us a comment, leave us a review. Really got some good feedback last week. Appreciate everybody being a part of our ever-growing community. And want you to follow me on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. Now, speaking of my Twitter page, last night, it blew up after watching the Dallas Mavericks just annihilate and destroy the Phoenix Suns in Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals last night. Look, that was a beatdown from the beginning. And obviously with Dallas moving on to the Western Conference finals now, they were spearheaded by Luka Doncic, who had a magnificent series. No other way to describe it. Magnificent series. He came out, scored the first 8 points last night for Dallas and really set the tone. And just at halftime, the Suns had only scored 27 points as a team, and he had 27 points by himself. So it was a magnificent performance. But you know how it goes at the end of the game. My Twitter starts getting all the Hawks had Luka, and they traded for Trae. And okay, first off, can we just say that it's all right to admit that it worked out for both teams, that the Hawks wanted Trae Young. They drafted Luka knowing the idea was going to be that they were going to trade for Trae Young, that everybody knew and understood all that. The deal was consummated, and everybody knew and understood what was going on with it, okay? It's okay to admit that both guys are great players and have done a lot for their franchise. Are you telling me that while Luka, no doubt, he's the hot thing right now, but a year ago, people weren't talking about the idea of Luka's this and Luka's that. Great player, but the Mavericks weren't going anywhere. Meanwhile, Trae Young was leading his franchise to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, again, Luka's in a situation where he's now had the exact same team success that Trae Young has had. And both guys have changed up the franchise respectively. Look, they're both great players. And the idea that one is better than the other, it's all about being a prisoner and living in the moment, right? It's all about, because Luka's playing right now and Trae's not, then all of a sudden it's this, that, and the other. Forget all the guys that have to help you. Nobody in the NBA by themselves is winning an NBA championship. That's why we keep talking about the idea of accumulating stars. As great as Trae Young and Luka Doncic are, they're not going to take a team by themselves and run them all the way to the NBA championship. Just doesn't happen in today's league. You just saw Giannis. To me, there's no better player. Charles Barkley and others agree with this. There's no better player in the NBA. You talk about the ultimate two-way player in the NBA. That's Giannis, right? And he's a great player, multi-time MVP. He gets all the calls, everything. You can't be a bigger star in the NBA than Giannis is right now. You can't be a better player than what Giannis is right now. And yet they're at home. After they won the NBA title, they got knocked out by the Celtics in Game 7. Why? Because they don't have enough guys around him to do enough. Middleton was out for the whole series, pretty much missed most all of the playoffs, and they couldn't get enough things going, and they couldn't get enough things going offensively, and Giannis didn't play all that well, and they're knocked out. It doesn't diminish what Giannis is, doesn't diminish the fact that he is a great player, but in the NBA today, one great player with a cast of some good or okay players isn't going to get it done. And you saw that with Trae Young. That's why we talk about adding a superstar, is because when you get bogged down offensively, you need some help. Same thing with Luka. Look at the contributions that he's getting right now from different guys. Now, that game wasn't just Luka by himself. He set the tone, no doubt about it, and came out of the gate and dictated that game to the Phoenix Suns. But he got lots of help last night. And that's the thing about the NBA is it's easy to be just in the moment of this guy did this guy did this, because they're both the faces of the franchise, right? Giannis is the face of the Bucks. Trae's the face of the Hawks. Luka's the face of the Mavericks. So it's easy to get into this mindset of, this guy's better than this guy or that and the other. The Hawks didn't get it wrong by building around Trae Young, but they have to build more pieces around Trae Young. That's the NBA team. If you want team success, then you have to build a collection of pieces to win the title. And right now, Dallas looks like they have that. Look, Dallas is going to go up against one of the great rosters in the NBA in Golden State. Steph and Clay, see how well he's playing now. Draymond, Wiggins, Poole, on and on and on and on. You have to have that whole group of guys. When the Warriors started to get a little bit flat, what'd they do? They went and got Durant. Went and brought the Slim Reaper, maybe the best offensive player in the NBA, brought him in there to keep them over the hump. You have to accumulate stars. So the idea that one guy is past another or this and the other, maybe in a few years we'll look back and Luka will have won 3 or 4 NBA championships and Trae Young will be sort of saddled in some mediocrity. Then maybe we can make some decisions about what the franchises are. But right now, to have gone from one extreme to the other in a calendar year is foolish. And somebody last night was like getting on my Twitter talking about the idea, well, when does a 6'1" point guard win anything? I don't know. Aren't the Warriors led by a 6'1" point guard? And Steph Curry is 6'1", 6'2" point guard? Isn't Kyrie Irving a 6'1", 6'2" point guard? I mean, that has nothing to do with it. It's not about Trae Young played the 8th most minutes in the NBA this year. The 8th most minutes. So for all the beat up and he's not big enough, and he's not physical enough, and he's not tough enough, he played the 8th most minutes in the NBA. But because he's not playing right now, it's easy to pull back that bow and arrow and start shooting arrows at him and saying he's not this, he's not that, or whatever like that. Meanwhile, in a team game, you have to have more than just one guy. And that's the reality of it. That's why there needs to be another star, whatever that name is on the back of the jersey. Pick whatever name you want on the back of the jersey. The point is that you have to get him some help in this league. It's just how the league is going. The idea of a whole bunch of decent players getting together and winning a title is not going to happen anymore. You better have some star power, and you better have some guys that complement. Look, Luka's supporting cast shuts everything down in the Western Conference Finals, and they can't get anything going. It won't matter if Luka scores 40 a night. They won't win. They won't beat the Warriors 4 out of 7 times if it's just Luka and nobody else. Right? I mean, that's sort of what happened last year to Luka in the playoffs. So don't get caught up in this moment of, oh my gosh, Luka's advanced. It's the nature of the game. They're 2 great players. And as Doc Rivers said tonight, you're not going to win it every single year. So don't get caught up in the, nonsense of this guy's better, that guy's better. Appreciate them both and understand both franchises got it exactly right with their guys. All right, when we come back, Ronnie's right. And I'm going to talk about, where we're at right now. He's been out for a few games, but Ronnie's right in what he said. This is Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.